Chapter 35. Creating Your Heart's Desire. So there they were, 712 in all, sitting together in deep meditation. A soft sound resonated through the hall, or was this sound only to be heard in their heads? It wasn't important. They had come together to find an answer to this one question, and one question only. A question which a little Smaggle, a human-like creature living deep within the Smaggle Mountains, had asked. Little Digger, they called him, because that is what he had been doing all of his life. Digging for snibbles, digging without ever wondering why. Until one day he woke up, realized that these snibbles didn't bring him anything really, and asked, if snibbles don't get us what we want, what then should we do to get the things we want? And what do we really want? Now, the Smaggles, unlike most other human-like creatures, had found out about something special. They had found out about one of the great wisdom truths. They knew that the mind did not contain the answers, not to the real questions it didn't. Whenever there was something you really needed to understand, the Smaggles said, it was not by thinking about it that you would find the answer. No, the mind couldn't be trusted. That much they knew. The mind would just influence you, based on what you had been taught by others or learned yourself, often even based upon some hidden greed or fear or anger the mind wanted to see fulfilled. Sometimes it would bring you an answer that was helpful, but rarely would it come up with something new, something creative, something mind-blowing. That much the Smaggles knew, and they also knew there was another source of information, a source much more powerful than the mind. Another source of information? Shaoni was wondering what the wizard was talking about this time. Yes, Aniola replied. Remember when we first met, I told you to learn and listen to your heart. The heart that often tells you things the mind has no knowledge about. Shaoni remembered. It was that time when the wizard had told him the story of the silenced heart. But now, Shaoni, the wizard continued, now that you have seen and felt the energies, it is time for you to go a step further. Let me show you what I mean. Barely had the wizard spoken these words when Shaoni found himself transported in the back of a big room. A soft humming sound filled the room they were in. It was a very pure vibrational sound. Shaoni could feel how this sound resonated in all of the participants' heads. As it gradually filled their whole being, it gently pushed aside any remaining thought, leading them into a world of stillness, the silence of the mind. The words just popped up in Shaoni's mind, as if to explain what was happening. By now, all had gone quiet. A deep inner peace had welled up in each and every single one of those present. It felt as if they had transmuted, yet they were still themselves. A deep feeling of joy resonated through them now, through the whole space they were in. Some of the Smaggles laughed as they felt the beauty of it all. Others cried a little, yet from within all of them radiated a very deep joy. The sound by now had faded away, and slowly a song woke up from within some of the participants, a low vibration. Most of them had never heard it before, yet somehow they all recognized it, and one by one they all joined in. The laughter had silenced, the tears had dried. The hall, every stone, the air, all of the participants now vibrated with this new sound. Then, gradually, their minds turned to the one question to be answered. If Snibbles don't get us what we want, what then should we do to get the things we want? And what is it that we really want? In the background still resonated this wonderful low vibration as a calling. A deep, warm feeling of trust and comfort grew within all those present. They gave in to this feeling, wanted to give in to this feeling. Then their senses became clearer. As they looked at their lives and the way they lived, it was as if they looked at it from a distance. They now saw the world with untroubled eyes. They felt, they smelt, they heard, all with an incredible clarity, their minds not blurred by any learned thoughts, any fear or anguish. Once again their hearts filled with joy, a joy touching them in every fiber of their being. And with this feeling of joy, as they looked onto the world, they felt love, a deep, profound love, an unconditional love for all that lived, a deep feeling of serenity too. Waves of energy rushing through their bodies, an energy cleansing them, washing away any remaining worries, pain, and confusion. Then, gradually the energy waves faded, to leave them bathing in a lake of inner rest. A few minutes went by in which everything felt in perfect balance and harmony. Then, from within this deepest of silence and inner rest, once again welled up the one question: what do we want? What then do we want? But already the answer was clear. As they were gathered, right there and then, they already knew, and nothing remained to be added. The answers that had appeared so hard to find in the realm of the mind now came to them so easily, like an all-embracing image, an image they all understood. Yet to all of them, the answer sounded different. Some saw the job that would fulfill their heart's desire, not the job they would have wished for, but a job that allowed them to give meaning, purpose to their lives. Others saw themselves within an all-embracing, loving relationship, a relationship going much deeper than anything they could have ever wished for, beyond anything they could have even imagined. Others still saw themselves as helping out. They understood it was their heart's desire to assist, whatever the road. Others still, well, all of the Smaggles present, each and every one of them, saw and lived something different. Still, in essence, they all experienced the same thing. They all lived their heart's desire, and this desire now filled their whole being. It radiated out of them to fill their whole life and change it, raise it to a higher level. "You see, Shaoni," the wizard finally said, "many of the things we consider being important in order to be happy do nothing of the sort. That's not really surprising, as most of the time we just go for the things that others tell us we need, or for the things that our minds tell us to go for. But the others don't know, and neither does the mind. The mind, the others, that is the world in which the wishes live." Shaoni's mind, as so often before, wandered off. In the distance, he heard the wizard say, "Always go for your heart's desire, my boy. For only if you do will you come to rest in the evening and feel the joy of having lived another beautiful day, or whenever that day comes, another beautiful life. If you don't, you will keep on craving, wishing, a whole life long, and however much you may end up having, you will never be happy."